Hey everyone, Deltron here. Welcome back to Antioch Chronicles, Thoughts and Chaos. We've reached the end, the final end. It's the epilogue called Coda. Let's get going. So I'm assuming there's not going to be any gameplay in this. But we still get one of these awesome start screens. So I won't complain about that. The survivors gather for one final meeting. Oh, it's Trench. So are these going to be the statues of all the fallen heroes? I think you could make a case that Trench really wasn't a hero. So that's Kuldaris. We have Nurok. The Dragoon. Let's see what the next one is. Korun. The Zealot. It's Japak. The last one should be Loryak, right? Yep, it's Loryak with his giant ball that he swings around. Very, very cool. Let's see if anything else happens. So it's pretty interesting. We have all, what, 5 Protoss fallen brethren. And then we have Trench. Trench's story was interesting. Looks like Turmalis is going to check out these statues. I guess Trench, he kind of redeemed himself by like sacrificing his life in order to save Haley's. Because he was trying to kill Haley and then he realized what he's doing. And he probably realized that there's no way out of like who he was at that point, so he just killed himself. But with that depressing note, let's get going. Let's start the mission. Yeah, there might be some gameplay, I don't know. The heroes of Antioch have gathered to say their farewells. Thank you for playing the Antioch Chronicles. We can see the red crescent moon, which was a symbol of the Antioch Chronicles, and you can see that on the mission loader screen for each of the missions. So we killed Nana Tyradun. And we defeated the Eyes. We'll see what's next, though.
Today we stand victorious. But at what cost? We were brought here by centuries of mistrust and lies. I fear that none of us shall ever be the same.
Well said, Judicator. The scars of this war will be borne for many generations.
So, what now, mates?
The Eyes remain a threat, and none of us possess the power of Japak to craft another generation of Grey.
Then the cycle repeats itself.
Why is Rockwell always surrounded by candy asses?
Excuse me.
Rockwell sees it like this. We just beat the bad guy. It's time to celebrate. We deal with the Eyes if we have to.
A charming sentiment, but lacking in forethought. We cannot allow ourselves to be caught unprepared again.
So, what are you gonna do? Burying them didn't work out so well.
Rockwell's tank will get it done.
How about some fortress or something?
Perhaps another temple?
We cannot build another temple.
I will take them.
Judicator?
I have seen too much to return to the fold now. Too much betrayal. Too many secrets. I will take the Eyes into the void. It is what should have been the first time.
And then what? What if the Eyes overtake you?
I assume they will. Once I reach the darkness between the stars, I will disable my vessel. And then, I will wait for the void to take me.
Judicator, that could be centuries.
So it could.
I salute you, Judicator. Few would have your strength.
Farewell, comrades. I must leave before the Eyes recover.
Time for me to pack up too, mates. I've got a business to rebuild.
Rockwell thinks you could use some backup, Chucky. You're not so good at watching your own back.
That's about right. All right, General. You're hired.
You two are leaving Moloch?
Insightful as always, my friend.
Where are you going?
I am unsure. I have spent centuries dreaming of this day. Now that it has come.
I get it. Let's go together.
Why?
I've got nowhere else to go. We shall travel together, remember?
It has a certain poetry to it.
And you, my friend?
It seems that my place is to stay. As Loriok did before, I will record these events and pass them to my successor.
We will meet again, my friend.
Of that, I have no doubt.
With that, I believe Antioch Chronicles has come to an end. I'm not sure if the Antioch Chronicles remaster team plans on creating any additional material for this campaign or not, but I feel like that was a really fitting wrap up to the story, especially after 20 years. I feel like it ended in a very satisfying way. So I'll just be talking over these credits, but I urge you guys to read every single one of these names. Every single person on these credits did a fantastic job, put in a lot of hard work to make this happen. And this couldn't have been done without any of these people. So I commend everyone. So Turmalis making the ultimate sacrifice there at the end to live out the rest of his days guarding the eyes, making sure they don't fall into the wrong hands, or anyone's hands for that matter. He's going into the void, basically succumbing to the eyes and his eventual death. And I guess, I mean, you could argue, like, why don't they just throw the eyes in a black hole or just destroy them? But remember in the previous mission, like the loading screen said, the eyes have a subtle influence over people. I guess it's kind of similar to the One Ring in Lord of the Rings. And that's why they can't simply destroy them. You can see all the voice actors here. And I do want to, give a huge shout out to Auspex and Zeus Legion, Ruben Moreno, and Zeus Legion. So they were the original creators of the Antioch Chronicles. And then Lucid Iguano and a bunch of other people, kind of the Antioch Chronicles remaster team, took the reins of the third episode. But it's awesome that after 20 years, Ruben Moreno and Zeus Legion came back to do voiceovers of their characters. I know, especially Ruben Moreno, he voiced Trench, Turmalis, Korin Nurak, Mox, Krillian, I believe he did Severac, and as well as Gurney, which is absolutely incredible to have that talent. And one interesting comment on, since Mox was such a big character, and a lot of people might say, like, oh, like him and Gurney were both bad guys, so like, why doesn't Gurney have a statue? But Zeus Legion was saying in Mox's defense, Gurney convinced him of the ransom plan, that the ransom plan was easy money, just a little bit of blackmail with no one actually getting hurt, that they would simply demonstrate the Side Cocoon's power, threaten a planet for a reasonable amount, and move on to the next. In the Capru sector, that's practically a misdemeanor. I thought that was a nice little comment, pretty funny. And also, it shed some light on why Charlie Mox wasn't as bad as Gurney was. At least in Zeus Legion's eyes. And he was one of the original creators, so I trust him. Looks like we'll get something else here, like post-credit scene. What am I watching, a Marvel movie? Turmalis' Arbiter. Oh, he's keeping the eyes inside the Arbiter. Man, poor Turmalis. I feel like the whole... Like, this was really Turmalis' story. Through and through. Like, from episode 1 to the end of episode 3. And at the end, he was the one that made the sacrifice. Because he just couldn't live with knowing what he learned. So maybe there'll be a 4th episode. They'll come rescue, relieve Turmalis. Come save him. And deal with the eyes. Or someone will take the eyes. And they'll have a new Nanotardun or Severac to deal with. But at least they'll have Turmalis back, maybe. And I also want to point out just some... I guess we can go back to the mission loader. It's really cool that they managed to do this. Make sure there's no, like, second epilogue mission. Yeah, I do want to point out that the global hockey UI changes completely change the way that you use heroes by reducing extra clicks, which is amazing. Again, I pointed out that if you don't want to, if you feel like that's too easy, you can easily just ignore it and hockey just like you usually would in StarCraft 2. And it's also awesome because that system could be easily implemented by other mapmakers in their campaigns or arcade maps, especially if they utilize multiple spellcasters. Amazing voice acting, one of the best I've ever heard in custom campaigns. The amount of voice actors, definitely the most I've seen in custom campaign. The map launcher is really unique. It's interactive. It has branching paths, which we can see here. And also the campaign utilize bank data, which I hope more and more StarCraft 2 custom campaigns utilize, because it's really neat to see bonus objectives and things carry on and benefit, like in future missions. The train was absolutely top notch, super high quality there. I remember there were moments in a lot of missions where I would go out of my way just to stop and look at the beautiful terrain work and appreciate the level of detail and work put in. And you don't really do that in a lot of StarCraft 2 campaigns. It's just kind of in the background. You're like, oh, that looks nice. You walk by it. This one actually took time to like pause my character and just like enjoy the terrain. It's like walking through a nice park and you see, statues or some sort of arboretum. Take the time just to walk through. And saying that about a game that was made by just fans of the game for a hobby, it's incredible. And again, I just really liked how they wrapped up the end of the story. It was a fitting end. And just thanks again, guys, for everyone on the team of Antioch Remastered, Antioch Chronicles, for putting in the work, creating episode 1, episode 2, eventually episode 3. You guys have given fans a lot of enjoyment. So thank you guys. This has been Deltron. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.